Alright, this is my second take at this. I shouldn't allow myself alternative takes, but I made a sort of a gross noise at some point, and I didn't mark it down to be edited out. Not that I intended on even editing this much, but because I couldn't find it and I had too many long pauses, I think. Who knows? I'm just going to go at it again. So, this is the first of an as of yet undetermined amount of videos where every few days or every day I will record, recap, and spill my thoughts from the day. It'll mostly just be me talking to myself, but I've always found such content to be helpful to me when trying to sleep. So, though I would never listen to my own videos, there are people who might glean something from this. It might help them, I don't know. You'll never know if you never try. So, it doesn't take much more than the time it takes to record these to put them out, presumably. And if it makes somebody's day better, then that's not time wasted. So, it's unlikely that anybody does find this. Today, I was late for school again. I've been late for school for a few months now, pretty much every day. I don't think I've been on time since September. Because back in September, somebody I cared about a lot had disappeared from my life without warning. And in the wake of that, I was a little emotionally devastated and suffered for a few weeks, but I had regained my stride when they decided to return and stir things up again. And such stirring things up kind of threw my sleep schedule and my emotional state off the rails. I had a pretty terrible November and a pretty terrible Christmas. But I've moved on from that, and things are better, arguably. Different issues, but not to get into here. Today was another one of the days where I get to school only to find out that I did not have to be there today. It's always funny when I wake up late and I get out of the house and I'm driving fast to school, and I get there, I get the closer parking for a fee, and I rush up to the classroom only to find less than half the classes there. Still, just because I didn't have to be there today doesn't mean I shouldn't have gone. I really enjoy the academic social space, I guess. It was something I sort of lost in the wake of the pandemic. The friends I had in high school, while I did maintain contact with them, any acquaintances I didn't really get that goodbye with. My school had no graduation ceremonies of any kind or no end-of-year events. The only things that happened were small parties at people's houses that subtly broke quarantine by sitting camping chairs a little too close together. So, returning to the academic social space in a university setting has been really refreshing. I've never been one for bars or social clubs because I don't like talking to strangers who I know I have nothing in common with. Or maybe I'm just scared to find out that I have something in common with someone I deem too different from me to interact with. Who knows? Not me. There's some things you can only glean about a person from an outside view. Right? Like, I can't read the book if I'm the book. After school, when I got home, I went straight back to bed. I tried my damnedest to fall asleep at a proper time last night, at a proper time being like 2 a.m. But I was in bed by 1, which hasn't happened in a long time. But of course I didn't fall asleep until 5-ish. So, not great. It was while I was trying to fall asleep that I thought it wouldn't be that hard to create the type of video I always listen to when I'm trying to sleep. I've been told by friends and strangers, not often, but once or twice, that my voice is nice. And I don't think I have one of those golden voices or anything like that. Nothing close. But I have a voice that maybe one person out there might really enjoy. So I'm putting myself out there for whoever that might be. Because if it helps them sleep, that'd be nice, right? I didn't end up falling back asleep when I went back to bed after school. I just scrolled YouTube Shorts for several hours, which is something I really, really need to stop doing. I wish they hadn't added that to the YouTube app. At least before I was watching, like, content that gave me ideas. But the YouTube Shorts are just nonsense. But it's like visually attractive nonsense most of the time. Like, I've just hit the mic. I keep ending up watching those, like, financial advice videos where the guy's like he's playing like Farming Simulator or something, and he's just plowing a field with a big combine, and this like old man's giving advice to people calling into his show, and it's not applicable to me because I don't live in the United States. So all these like systems they're talking about aren't in place where I am. So I don't know why I'm watching them, but I listen and then I stare at the tractor or the combine. And there was one day where I swear I watched like 100 of them. They just kept coming. Anyway, I need to stop watching YouTube Shorts. After the doom scrolling, I decided to take my dog for a walk, which I haven't had time to do. It's usually a responsibility left to other people of the house. But I used to do it every day before I was both unemployed and in education. Or sorry, employed and in education. But I decided to do it today because it's been a really long time and the weather's starting to get nicer. Still looks nightmare outside. Post-winter, sand everywhere, snow everywhere. Yuck. But it's breathable and it's walkable, so halfway through the dog walk, I got a call and was promptly given a side quest to head on over to my brother's house because, and he lives ages away, like a 40-minute drive. He had Amazon packages and he's out of country and he needs them into his house. So I made the drive, I guess. It was fun though. I love driving, probably more than any other physical activity. It's not like exercise, but it is a physical activity. You move your hands and feet and you're going somewhere. To me, it's a physical activity. I wanted to write a song earlier, but I don't have a background in like music or music education. I just picked up the guitar in my last year of high school and haven't put it down for a few years. Just sort of like every once in a while I'll pick it up and strum something. But I have no understanding of notes or chords or scales or tonics or majors or minors or any of these things. I don't even know how to play the piano. There was a class that I was taking in high school that involved music theory, and it was a part of it, and I would have learned it, but then the pandemic struck and that class got cancelled because it was deemed non-essential. So they just sort of gave us the credit for it and then sent us on our way. I would have loved to finish that class though. I have a terrible habit of remembering the past constantly, to the point where the conversation topics I have with friends and such seem to, if I can't think of anything based on current events, I just default back to something from like 5 years ago or 10 years ago that nobody else remembers. And it recently destroyed one of my relationships. Now, it was a bizarre case with that one. It felt out of the blue, and I'm sure there were a laundry list of other issues the person had with me. But it hurt like hell to think that my nature might have been the cause. And it makes me think like, oh, maybe I should fix myself, whatever that means, change the way I think about things, change the way my brain works so people get less put off by me or something like that. But then I go online and people say the opposite. There's a real conflict of opinion on this type of thing. Like, if you feel hurt by somebody else, I've been told when I'm like feeling hurt by somebody else's actions that I should change myself to not feel hurt by their actions. And then I hear when I'm hurting somebody else with my actions inadvertently that I should change myself so they don't get hurt by my actions. And it's not great. It's not great support. And it just leaves me in this odd spot where every choice feels wrong, right? Every change, every lack of change feels wrong. But I've never been uncontent with who I am as a person. I've always been me, and I will continue to be me. And I hope that everyone around me can forgive me for that. Not that I'm ever intentionally destructive. I don't wish to hurt anybody like that. It's a bit long for a first one, don't you think? Like, the timer on screen right now, I haven't been watching it very closely, but it's going up. Maybe I have been talking for too long. Who knows? If somebody does watch this, and you who's listening thinks, I wish this video was longer, or I wish you would keep going, then comment that. And I'll try my best to talk for a little longer in the next video, until we hit some sort of sweet spot. Or if you feel like I'm yapping too long, then tell me that, and I'll try to keep these short and just leave the meat of what may have happened in my week or day. Oh. It's up to whoever ends up listening to this to sort of guide me, or else I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing the way I've thought to do it. I hope if someone does end up listening to this that they appreciate it or get some use out of it. I know this video is going to get recommended to somebody who doesn't need it and will glance over it, maybe not even acknowledge it in their homepage. But with luck, it will reach somebody who needs to listen to somebody yap, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out sometime in the future. I don't like waiting for the future to come, but I've waited this long, so what's waiting a few more, however long it takes. For now, I'm just making these for myself. I think I will end it here, though. I don't know when the next one will be. Maybe it'll be tomorrow, if tomorrow is eventful enough. Or maybe it will be Friday, maybe it'll be after work on Saturday. Who knows? If you're listening, I hope you have a good night. I hope you sleep well. I will try my best to sleep well. And I hope that if you did listen all the way to the end somehow, that you come round for the next one. That'd be nice. Yeah. Bye-bye.